Hey everyone, I have one heck of a match for you today. It's going to be in my Sherman Firefly VC, and I know I said Sherman, but this is in fact a British tank. It was a, basically what we did is back in World War II is we sold the British, or gave the British, the Sherman bodies, and they put their own turret and gun on it, and the reason for that was to compete with the heavier German tanks, and it worked out pretty well, except for one thing, is that their unique design kind of made them stand out, and so the Germans would concentrate fire on the Fireflies, and that probably did not turn out well for them. But that being said, it's a very cool tank. It is in fact a premium one. This is not one I ground for. And the reason I bought it is I just kind of started collecting Shermans. I have, of course, my Easy 8, I have my Jumbo, and then the tier down from this I have the regular M4. And then I bought the Sherman Firefly VC, and then I bought a Russian one that we basically the United States gave the Russians these under a similar deal with the British. And this thing, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fast. It's a lot of fun to play. But this match is going to be in my Sherman Firefly VC. So let's get to it. All right, everyone. This is the Siegfried line map. I am in my Sherman Firefly VC. It is a great little premium tank. You can see I got my first mark of excellence on it already. I like playing this tank just because of the little bit of the history behind it, and that gun is no slouch either. Also, it's good for earning cash because my tier 10 is really expensive. I'm not kidding, I can lose half of the cash I win in a match just to resupplying ammo, not to mention getting repairs. Now on this map, I like coming out to this corner of the map. You'd watch this Chaffee on my side, on my team. I'm not sure what he was doing, but I was mildly amused and slightly confused, not gonna lie. But I like coming to this corner of the map because all the enemy lights will come out here. And I consider it my job is to snipe them. And I usually do that by taking out their tracks. And you'll see me actually do that. Let me put it back in game camera right here. And I see this AMX running across the field, and I tracked him right there, and I tried to get another shot into him and missed, but my teammates finished him. And I see this Stug just sitting there letting himself be a great target. And before I could get a second shot into him, he got destroyed as well. And I got really obsessed with this Chaffee, and that turned out to be a bit of a premonition. Now there's a Turin hiding behind that house over there. We'll see more of him in a bit. I really wanted to get a piece of this Chaffee. And I saw this KV-2. His turret was to the side, which is an easy pierce. Fired around, and it went right over the top. I was kind of sad about that. I love shooting a KV-2. I knew that guy had to be spotting for his TDs, so I really wanted to get him. Right there, I just kind of blind fired where I thought he might be. And then that Turin sticks his nose out and basically just lets me do this. And again. So right there, I've taken him down below 50% of his durability. And he gets smart and moves back, and I almost got another shot into him. I blind fired, missed by him. I'll probably hit the side of that house that's out there. Now you can see I'm starting to lose teammates in the field out here. And it's because this Chaffee is spotting for at least one TD, well, for a TD and possibly other tanks. And so I actually started to get really nervous. So that Turin takes a run across the field. I got a round into him, and I kept trying to get another round into him, and he was just a little too slippery for me. My old man reactions. I thought I'd gotten him right there, and then he disappears off my scope. and it looks like he had gotten the last of my teammates. So the only thing I got left on this side is myself and the archer over there. And the archer looks like he's in pretty good shape. He's trying to pick off that chaffee as well. It was just popping up and down on my scope like a kangaroo, and I began to get nervous because I didn't know where that wolverine was. I also failed to notice the giant Churchill behind me who took out one of my teammates, and he starts moving up, and he could have popped me in the side, in the butt at any time. And unfortunately, the OI experimental was paying some sort of attention. Took a pot shot at something, missed by a mile. And then he pops up on my scope, but I wasn't sure where it was. And then the OI starts maneuvering behind me over there. And you'll see right about in just a second that Churchill just disappears. Right there. So I got lucky. I had good teammates that were watching my back. And you can see I start looking around because I know there's more out there. Plus I can see that Cromwell. And those things will circle around like crazy. Those tanks are really fast. I've actually enjoyed the hell out of playing mine. I went up the British medium line, and I'm actually currently on the Centurion 1. I'm kind of stalled there, and that happens. Tier 8, not the best tier, because you start drawing matches with tier 10s, and some of those tanks, you might as well just get out and throw rocks at them. It'd be about as effective. So at this point in the match, I'm sitting at 770 points of damage. I have 1 kill. It was that Tyrann that wasn't paying attention to anything. And again, still scanning everywhere. I am really super nervous. Let me put it back in game camera. You can see I'm just looking all over the damn place. And that archer spotted the chaffee, and so I start moving up to support. But if you remember what I said about the chaffee spotting for a TD, you can see what starts happening to that archer. And he just gets blown to smithereens. I never did see what happens where the shots were coming from. So I start backing away. And then I did something that was actually kind of stupid. That chaffee stopped, and I put a round into him. And that put me on everybody's scope. And you can see I'm just taking round after round from that stupid Wolverine. Right there he bounced one, and then he got one into my tracks. Fortunately, I had a repair kit. Bounced another one. I panic fired at the chaffee, just trying to keep his head down, and barely got out of the line of fire. So that was a little bit nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. So I wanted to get back around this corner because I really expected both the Wolverine and the chaffee to chase me, and I got kind of jittery. And eventually I ended up backing up all the way behind this corner. And I turned around because I really expected the chaffee at least to come around from behind me. It is exactly what I would do if I were in a light tank, is I would try to flank. And I was actually kind of expecting either of them, for both of them, to come at me from the same side at once, or try to flank me in a pincer movement. And you'll see what happens in just a minute. I kind of sat here for a while because I got really nervous. You can see me looking around. Take it out. Let me put it back in game camera, and I start just like jerking around like this. Okay, they got to be coming from somewhere. And so I decided to move up in this corner and see if I can take a little peek without getting shot. And I don't see anything popping up, so I move forward a little more. And then a little more, and sure enough, that Wolverine pops up. If I had pulled out another fraction of an inch, he could have shot me right in the front. So I start backing away. And right there, right on cue, comes the Chaffee, and he gets a shot into my ass end. And I snapshot him, took him out. And then got another round into the Wolverine. He pulls out. And I had actually called for help, and my teammates replied with ammo, with rounds into the Wolverine, and I finished him off. And you can see me saying thank you. So it's always good to have good teammates. So now at this point, the only thing left is the, well, there it is right there, the Cromwell. And I figured he was spotting for artillery, but he also got a couple shots into her OI, took it out, and expected him to come flying around this corner, and he stopped. So I ended up shooting like some random truck behind me. He gets a round into me, I get a reload, and finished him. And that was a little bit of panic fire. I mean, I was aiming, but I was still kind of panicking, so, you know, panic fire. Now, I was expecting their artillery to start dropping rounds on me. So I got away from where the Cromwell saw me last, and honestly, looking at where I'm sitting now, right there I said, Jeebus, I am sweating. I should have kept running, because artillery, even at Tier 6, can be absolutely deadly. So I got the, my teammates congratulating me. It was a good match. Now I'm basically huddled in the corner because I didn't know where their artillery was going to start dropping surprise rounds. For all I know, the guy was AFK. So, and we just kind of sat there, just hanging out. I was relatively sure that the artillery wasn't going to come into town, so we just let the timer run out. And victory, sweet, sweet victory. Okay, not gonna lie, that was an exciting match. Toward the end there, I saw that Cromwell coming around, and I got really nervous because those things are fast and they shoot fast. But I managed to, he was pretty damaged. He only had a sliver of health left. He got a round into me. I only had a sliver left, and I managed to pen the front of his tank and take him out. So that was pretty satisfying, but honestly not as satisfying as taking out this Chaffee, which had been haunting my team the entire match, and followed that up with the Wolverine that came hunting for me. I knew they were coming, so I had hid around the corner of the building. What I didn't expect was the Chaffee to come the other way, and one of my teammates helped me out there, got a shot into the Wolverine, and I was able to finish it off. So that was pretty nice. I'm not going to lie, I got really nervous toward the end there. And then, of course, the Turian, who was, I actually worked over pretty hard. I may have been the only one who shot him. I don't know. All I know is that he stuck his neck out at the wrong time, and I got a shot into him. He was going after the TD that was not too far from me. So I did 1,241 points of damage. Not too shabby for a Tier 6 tank. I got 37,055 silver, 1,076 experience, my Bruiser, my Fire for Effect, my Duelist, and my Fighter for destroying 4 or 5 vehicles in one shot, and then the Mastery Badge second. I can understand that. I wasted a lot of shots trying to hit stuff that I just couldn't get, so it happens. And I wasn't top damage, but I was pretty close. I was top kills, so I'm not going to argue with that. And the only thing that was left after that match was this Bishop, and he wasn't going to come into town, and so we just rode it out and won the match. And so after everything was repaired and resupplied, I got 27,174 silver. So not a bad match. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please remember to hit that like button, drop me a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. And I will see you all at the next World of Tanks match.